Even after solving the original Roottree mystery, the thought of Beef Baby has stuck with you. It consumes your every waking moment. The game knows me so well. You must track down a copy. You email the reviewer who saw Lucy's life and you offer her money, too much money. At first she doesn't believe you. Who in their right mind would pay a few $1,000s for a stupid song from a no-name band? Someone who earned a whole lot of extra money by completing a family tree, that's who. When the check clears, she has no choice. Beef Baby is finally yours. Lyrics. Anyway, now that you've helped Sam Madsen prove she was a real Roottree, you're rich. She gave you her share of the money, making you an instant millionaire. Man, I want to be an instant millionaire. With your newfound fortune, you finally did it. The one thing you've been trying to do ever since your investigation. You finally tracked down a copy of Conquistador. It's time to listen to Beef Baby. Lyrics. Beef Baby, Beef Baby. You and I got Beef Baby. Beef Baby, Beef Baby. You're a filthy thief, baby. I'm not blind to your trying to cut in. That's my price you've been eyeing. You thought you could win. You can quit all your crying. We're no longer kids. All our lives you've been lying. Now it's come to this. You thought that we'd stay friends forever, but that ends tonight. Beef Baby, Beef Baby. You and I got Beef Baby. Beef Baby, Beef Baby. You're a filthy thief, baby. Beef Baby, Beef Baby. Better believe it, baby. Beef Baby, Beef Baby. You and I got Beef Baby. I can't wait to, listen to this. Played the victim's side and tried to make him care. Claimed you're ostracized like something to repair. Stole my style, tried to bleach and dye your hair. Got him wasted, even wore my underwear. Intoxicated, he still knew you'd never be me. Why do you think that you have no friends? Why do you think that you have no friends? Why do you think that you have no friends? Because every time you bitch how it ends. Beef Baby, Beef Baby. You and I got Beef Baby. Beef Baby, Beef Baby. You and I got Beef Baby. Beef Baby, Beef Baby, Beef Baby, Beef Baby, Beef Baby. Tried to bleach and dye your hair. How did that go wrong? I mean, I'm not saying it can't go wrong. I just want to know how it went wrong. Anyway. Many ways that can go wrong. Yeah, but I want to know how exactly. Missing the count in the lyrics.
Trying to cut in. That's my price you've been eyeing. You thought you could win. You can quit all your crying. We're no longer kids. All our lives you've been lying. Now it's come to this. You thought that we'd stay friends forever, but that ends play the victim's side and try to make him care. Claimed your ostracized like something to repair. Stole my style, tried to bleach and dye your hair. Got him wasted, even wore my underwear. Intoxicated, he still knew you'd never be. Why do you think that you have no friends? Why do you think that you have no friends? Why do you think that you have no friends? 'Cause every time you bitch how it ends. Beef baby, beef baby, you and I got beef baby, beef baby, beef baby, you and I got beef baby, beef baby, beef baby, beef baby, beef baby, beef baby.
It's a very good song. Oh. 7 out of 7, yes. It's very good. It's very good. Very good song. All right. Very happy they gave me Beef Baby. They couldn't not give us Beef Baby though. I would have been so mean. Anyway, it does feel kind of weird that we have like a new Guy Hudson now. And like new extra pictures. But like not extra pictures here, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. It's just like it feels a bit weird because especially since we have some like extra picture slots now on the old tree too. But it's okay. And then yeah, Mercury Jr. and the third. Okay. Right. I don't even know where we were. Remind us. Do I care about this? Maybe. How does this have so much stuff? That seems crazy. Anyway, 6 pieces Roottree Rift. Maybe we should look up Clark. Clark Rafferty LaRue is the new president of the Roottree Corporation. This does not include Root, which appears to have its own new leadership. Root period, I'm sorry. In early March of 1999, about 5 months ago, it was announced that both Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree would be taking over for what was essentially described as a transitional period in the aftermath of 6 pieces. About 2 weeks later, the company released a press statement that thanked Ron for his work, but announced that Clark was the new permanent president. Interesting. Most of the information about Clark you knew already. Many descriptions of him tend to focus on his advertising career and that his mother was Lauren Roottree. Few seem to touch on his complex and volatile marital history. Yes, complex and volatile, that's one way to describe it. Since taking over, Clark has tried to remain out of the spotlight, but did have one notable foray into the public eye. He gained a lot of support when his first move was a statement in favor of accepting Sam and family into the trust. This also served as an announcement that the Kansas Trust would no longer be handled by anyone in the family, since due to their financial motivation, none of them could ever be impartial. That is a good move. Ron was announced as president of Roottree during the Roottree Rift, but the next press release immediately reversed the announcement and instead stated that Ron and Clark would take over. A few weeks later, Ron was dropped from the title entirely. There are hundreds of reports about this development, but most articles are retelling of the basic details. Some veer into heavy speculation based on an article about Ron in Business Watch. Ron has also done some interviews saying that the truth of what went on behind the scenes is not something he wishes to discuss. Instead, he hopes to release a movie about it someday. 3 weeks ago, Ron's mother Quinn died in Paris, France. See, they give me which Paris, but they don't tell me which Portland. That's rude. He and his brother Robbie have seemingly made amends. Business Watch is the one we already have, right? Yeah. The 3 press releases from the Roottree Candy Company after the release of 6 pieces were referred to as the Roottree Rift due to the clear conflicts between them. The press was fairly standard. They said that there was no president of the Roottree Company, but that the entire family was made aware of the release of the book and that they would be meeting as soon as possible. Only then could they verify the legitimacy of the claims it raised and decide next steps. The second release was emailed to business newspapers 3 hours later and announced that after a vote, Ron Roottree would be taking over temporarily as an interim president. It also went on to state that Ron was aware of the book, had verified the claims within, and would look into compensating Mrs. Madsen and her family immediately. It also stated that the company lawyers would be taking immediate steps with the family to revisit the Cancer Trust's terms to make sure nothing like this could happen again. It was quickly clear to business reporters and analysts that the time between the 2 press releases would not have been logistically sufficient to gather a majority of the family, even using conference callers. This was reported on many news channels, and a third, much shorter press release came the next day. It claimed that a draft of the announcement was made prematurely, and that Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree would be taking over as the company's first joint presidents. It also stated that any compensation planned would be based on a stringent verification process. Okay. Just going to assume they were game as neighbors until proven otherwise? Yes. I mean, like, you know, we're in Pennsylvania, you know, why would they go all the way out west? Anyway. But it doesn't, like, say that, and I don't know which, like, if you just see Portland, which one do you assume it is? I don't know, there's probably an argument to be made for the Oregon one, then. Yeah. But I mean, if someone says they went to Paris, you also don't think, you know, it's Texas, right? You think France, right? Like, they would have to specify. Kentucky? There are probably a few Parises out there, right? Anyway. Alright, what was I doing? I don't remember. Business Watch ran an article about 2 months after the Roottree rift about what really happened with Roottree. The article mentions that nobody from Roottree that they reached out to was willing to go on the record. It said the timeline of events has been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and the source on the inside. The only parts that are new to you are also the most vague parts, the ones supposedly confirmed by their anonymous source. The timeline says that the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl Roottree died, but before the release of 6 Pieces, and decided they wanted Ron Roottree to take over because of his experience running RR Productions and because he was a well-known and well-respected Roottree. But Ron seemed way too eager and personally motivated. They were worried he would gut the Cancer Trust to remove Robbie Roottree. The family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. Makes sense. They stalled and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When 6 Pieces came out, he saw his chance to force action while the family was in the limelight and released the press release himself in an attempt to get the ball rolling faster. This caused chaos within the family. They tried to save face by allowing Ron to take over as co-president with Clark. But according to Business Watch's source, Ron was impossible to deal with. He seemed like he was unwilling to protect the Cancer Trust, and they eventually let him go. After that, the role passed solely to Clark, who nobody was excited about, but seemed like the safest choice. Sure, that makes sense. Six Pieces. There's an older version of this page in the Time Travel Archive. Interesting. 6 Pieces Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family by Sam Madsen was released in early 1999 and perhaps assisted by the still relatively recent plane crash shot to the top of the charts. Reviews were mixed, and its time on the bestsellers list was limited to only 2 months. Most reviewers agreed that the core of the book about Samantha's fathers and the struggles they faced was compelling, and that the takedown of the hypocrisy of Elias Roottree was deserved. However, many took umbrage with the timing of the release and the tone of the book, which seemed vindictive. I mean, okay. The fallout from the book led to the Roottree company scrambling to release a statement, and due to a conflict of leadership, famously released multiple conflicting official statements over 3 days. This confusing move was referenced in popular culture to a late-night sketch about indecisionitis, but more traditionally, analysts have been calling it the Roottree rift. Months later to the Roottree Mania, the book re-entered the charts and sold even better than the first time. Indecisionitis was a disease coined by popular sketch show as part of a fake pharmaceutical advertisement for Chit Together. But the segment isn't fully about the Roottree Candy Company. It was released in the weeks after their bizarre response to the release of Six Pieces by Sam Masson and references the recent news. In the sketch, a woman ordered a number 5 at a drive-thru speaker. Then after putting 4, she changed her mind at the window, asking to switch it to a number 3. This caused a lengthy backup and annoyance amongst the restaurant's employees and other patrons. After she put away, as the employees began helping other customers, the same woman then barged into the restaurant and passed the current line, loudly complaining that she didn't receive her number 5. After this, the sketch transitioned from a restaurant scene into a pharmaceutical commercial. A doctor claims that the woman was suffering from indecisionitis, a disease that causes extreme confusion and irritability, and has recently been found to severely hinder the leaders of large corporations, but could also spread to humans. The doctor then recommends Chit Together, fake pharmaceutical drug. Multiple testimonials use variations of the catchphrase, when I can't make my tough decisions, I've got to get my chit together. The final testimonial linked with a bald man in silhouette with a voice changer saying, I'm not comfortable sharing who I am, but I'm comfortable saying that before I took over my family's candy company, I really should have gotten my chit together. Very good. It'd be vindictive too. I think it's, that's fair. Anyway. Actually, give me the older version. According to a publisher's website, Six Pieces is an upcoming book by Sam Madsen. And further details about its content or release date. Interesting. Okay, I feel like we're just we're just early on. We're just everything is new and we don't know what's used for. Anyway. Can we look at Guy Hudson? Guy Hudson, who was only president of Roottree for a few years in the late 70s and early 80s, had mostly faded into obscurity except for the fancy flavors debacle. During Roottree Mania, he suddenly rose to prominence again after 5 Piece appeared on the cover of a magazine holding a photo of Guy and his mother. A few people that existed adjacent to the company in the 70s have come forward with stories about debauchery and swinger parties. Guy liked to throw large holiday parties whenever he had an excuse, and they often got very out of hand. That tracks. This fact has led some people to speculate that the night he died in a car crash he was drunk or impaired in some way, but the Butler County Police have released multiple statements and ample evidence that proves decisively that it was not foul play and that no party had taken place. But it not being foul play and no party having taken place doesn't mean he wasn't drunk or impaired. You can get drunk without a party and it wouldn't be foul play. You drove drunk and crashed. That's not, I don't know. Good night to the least. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out. Anyway, Roottree's lawyers have been quick to threaten litigation to anyone who has tried to disparage Guy or the company in public. I guess I'll be careful. I'm just saying that this is not proof. Anyway. What was the other guy's name? I can't type fellows. I want to type a W early every time. It was Riley, right? Yeah. Nothing. Okay. Where do we go? Have we looked up Clark yet? I think we have, right? Yeah. I guess it's look for Roottree Mania. Roottree Mania immediately followed the announcement that the rapper going by 5 Piece was actually Roottree. Collectively popular culture seemed to focus on the Roottree family and 5 Piece for a few weeks before everything felt oversaturated and society moved on. Because the 5 Piece saga, an underlying through line to how pop culture treated Roottree Mania, was an excuse for everyday people to claim they were also Rootrees. Daytime talk shows had I'm a Secret Roottree episodes, late night hosts and guests made jokes about other lost members of the family, and there was a widely shared website where you could fill in your own name to find out if you were a secret Roottree. When you submitted your name, it simply said no, with an image of Clark Lafferty LaRue giving you the finger. It's a shame it didn't, I would have, I appreciate the description, but I would have liked to, actually interact with the website anyway. Roottree Mania lasted only a few weeks, just long enough for 6 Pieces to re-enter the charts, and to trigger new printings of other Roottree-related media. This included Lawrence diaries, VHS releases of Gwynn's old movies, as well as countless other unauthorized biographies, which mostly seemed to attempt to capitalize on the Roottree sisters, Carl and Brenda. These re-releases were too late to successfully capitalize on or extend the craze. As a result, most of them were failures, and countless novelty shirts that had variations of I'm a Secret Roottree became immediately unfashionable, though some people still wear them ironically. Yes, that makes sense. That's a shame. I feel so lost in this. I'm just we're finding a lot of new things, but I'm I don't know. It's fine, but we're just not doing anything. Anonymum was a second high-profile case after Felix Fellows of a potential new Roottree being added to the Clancy Trust. Instead of claiming herself a Roottree, however, she claimed she'd slept with Guy Hudson and her daughter was a Roottree. The accusation came during the height of Roottree Mania and began with a brief TV interview. She appeared in the shadows with a disguised voice and promoted an article about herself in News Time. In the TV interview and the article, she referred to her daughter as Jane Doe Roottree. The name Anonymum was not self-inflicted. It seemed to spring up organically because nobody knew how else to refer to her. The day after the News Time article, Sam Matson publicly supported Anonymum due to some parts of the story she found particularly credible. With the momentum from Sam's endorsement, Anonymum went on a media blitz. Ultimately, this backfired. As more details came out, people became skeptical of her story due to the extreme similarity to 5 Piece. Her accusation even included many of the same details as his mother's story. This included her job secretary and the time period, late 70s. But there could have been more than one secretary. After fumbling the 5 Piece story so publicly, the Rootrees were more prepared to handle all kinds of trust-related cases. Within a week, a DNA test proved that Anonymum's daughter could not be related to the Rootrees. This was announced at a joint press conference with lawyers representing both Anonymum and the Rootrees. Each party ensured their respective clients provided accurate samples. Immediately after the negative results were released, many of those who had already been skeptical felt vindicated. Others, who had built up hope that history could repeat itself after 5 Piece, felt duped. Many people suspected the whole affair had been a hoax to gain fame and money. Many demanded that Anonymum be held accountable, and some people even began to attempt to track down her true identity. That's what I would be interested in. The Roottree company felt pressure to put out a second statement to try to curb some of the backlash, even going so far as to say, though it was scientifically proven that Jane Doe Roottree is not a Roottree, this doesn't mean that her mother and Guy Hudson were not involved in an affair. Yes, if he had swinger parties, there's a very good chance that he did have an affair, but there might have been other men too, and that one of those might be the father. Who knows? That seems like a plausible scenario anyway. She had every right to make her claim, as it has been verified that her stories about Guy Hudson were not exaggerations. Please leave their family alone. Many people claim this high-profile anticlimax and public backlash was the beginning of the end for Roottree Mania, since much of the fun was a shared fascination about secret Rootrees. Others think that, like any fad, it just ran its course naturally. Regardless, this was the final notable event related to the release of 6 Pieces, and things soon went back to normal. Jane Doe Roottree has already been eliminated as a potential new Roottree by the company's lawyers, who are the ones verifying your work. Anonymum's affair does not appear on your updated tree. That's a shame. That is a shame. Because we don't have much else for now. Anyway. There's Still 7 things related to this. It's crazy. But there is like a second or final affair. There's a first affair and a final affair. So there's like a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth affair for Guy Hudson. That's crazy. Anyway. How long was he the president for? Like just a few years? I guess he could have... I don't know. But that was... If this was the first one, she was the secretary. Like all of these are after that. He was busy. Anyway. 98. That's very recent. 49, 21. Those are less recent, I would say. And I don't know if that's like, I mean, that's the only job I know. No, actually, no. She was a secretary and then she worked at the... Where did she work? Forgot immediately again. Movie rental store. What's that profession? Cashier? Is that what that would be? I don't know. Probably, right? Fits better than every other one there. Retail? But this movie, is that the same? I don't know. Like both of them seem bad fits, honestly. But it's either that or that, I guess. Cashier seems better. Yeah, because like it's not retail, right? Movie rental is not retail. You're not selling anything. You're renting out movies. I don't know. Okay, so how did we find out her name though? We'd have to find like company like records of her. But I don't even know if she was married before she got hired, because then they probably wouldn't have her maiden name either. I don't know. Busy guy must not sleep much. Maybe that's what led to bad decisions. That's possible. No trust in insomniac. That's fair. You know, I don't know if he cheated more than the others. Just know that he probably thought protection was a bodyguard. Yes, that's also a fair point. Oh yeah, no, we should look for the other alias. Where was that? Dirty Davy. According to fansite, Felix Fellows is not Five Pieces' actual name. His birth name was David Fellows. Dirty Davy was five. Okay, so Fellows is the right last name, but David is the first name. Dirty Davy was Five Pieces' previous stage name. He used to sell records and perform live shows in Portland. Which one under that name? There are some people selling his old mixtape on auction sites. One is apparently called Dirty Devil and another Dirt Poor. Can I get those? Dirty Devil was Five Pieces' first mixtape, released as Dirty Davy from the early 90s, in quotes. There's discrepancies and debates about what year exactly was released based on some of the pop culture references. The range thought to be somewhere between 92 and 94. One of the songs, Yes I Can Jump, seems to be at the center of the confusion. Some fansites claim that there are multiple versions of different track lists and song lengths on them, though because there's very little evidence of the mixtape online as it is, it's even harder to verify that information. Can we listen to Yes I Can Jump? Yes I Can Jump is a song that was on Five Pieces' mixtape Dirty Devil. It seems to be the only song that didn't make it onto his studio album that people thought should have. In it, he referenced a popular movie from 1992 called White Man Can Jump, yes. This reference has caused some confusion amongst the fanbase because of it. It is agreed upon that the mixtape had to come out in 92 at the earliest, but others point out that Fellows references seeing the movie on his 17th birthday. This would have been in 94. Yeah, that's not, okay. Some take this to mean that the album had to have been released in 94 at the earliest, yes. Others claim that he was likely just trying to make himself sound older, since in response to some of the more questionable lyrics, he has stated multiple times that he was just a dumb kid when it was released. Okay. We don't get information about White Man Can't Jump. I thought we would get that. Anyway, we should fix his name because it's Dave. Dirt Poor. Dirt Poor was a mixtape by Dirty Davy released in 96. There's a lot of online discourse from people who like to point out that in one of the songs, Felix Fellows includes someone that would have revealed to be his own distant cousin, Raina, in a list of attractive women. I mean, he didn't know. Or couldn't be sure anyway. The lyrics to one of the songs, Heat, mentions a few different prominent female actresses, models, and musicians from the 90s and provides a crude pun line about what Fellows felt about them. Yeah, okay. I don't want to listen to that one. When re-released in 99, much of the rhetoric was toned down to be less overtly profane, and the line referencing Raina was clumsily replaced by Dana, a reference to a character from the X-Files. Okay. Okay, Heat is too vague. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so David Fellows, Riley Fellows, those seem right for sure. We need to lock in 4 key relatives. That's a lot of work still. Do I want to look at Mercury stuff again? It seems Mercury Senior is going on a new tour of the United States in late 99. The previous flyer for the 3 generations of Mercury has been replaced. To be a part of history, the oldest living Roottrie reprises and retells his incredibly true story. Mercury Roottrie grew up as one of the famous 5 pieces, living a life of wealth and luxury, but fortune was nothing compared to the powerful force of the Almighty. Doctors determined he was destined to die young, but fate had different plans. He has lived a long and fruitful life. However, he is now in his 70s, and his age is beginning to make life on the road more difficult, so consider this your last chance to see him in a town near you before he settles back down in Pennsylvania. In this intimate evening, Mercury will reminisce about his famous history. He'll discuss his family's saints and sinners and provide a unique perspective on one of the most notable families in the United States today. Learn what originally drove him away from his fortune and into the arms of religion, and learn how his life has become more wealthy in spirit than it ever could have been from his inheritance. But he still has like the inheritance from the trust. The site also lists the churches he will be appearing in and mentions that tickets can be purchased at their local services. Noticeably absent are any mentions about Mercury's news appearances. Sure. I don't know if I typed the names right. That is fair. I could look again. Fellows is a weirdly spelled name. No, there's nothing good there. for that so I can like change the first part. No Riley and no, is it Joanna? It is Joanna, right? Joanna. Okay. I don't know where we're... Okay, let's just look at our evidence again. What do we have? There's still a lot of stuff in Remind Us somehow, which is very confusing. Because all of this is like the old stuff. I don't know how we get new stuff from that. I guess we can look up Stephanie Jones. It seems Brian Jones has been busy updating Stephanie Jones' campaign website. 2 new sections exist. The first is baby photo. There you see a picture of their new family together in the hospital. According to the site, our daughter was named after her grandmother, which ended up being very fitting considering she was born the night before Christmas. What's the grandmother's name? I don't know. The second is what's next. There's not much of substance there right now, but it lists some small accomplishments and finishes with the recent rise in popularity and controversy surrounding my extended family. There has been some extra attention on me. Stay tuned for announcements in the coming months about how I plan to use this publicity to accomplish bigger and better things. Okay, it's the same. Brian Jones posted this photo of his family together in the hospital following the birth of their newborn girl. His new daughter is wearing an adorable little Santa hat. That is true. And his wife, Stephanie, is giving her signature thumbs up move from her campaign literature. A good signature move. Her grandma, what she said. So the baby's like Clara? But that's not a very Christmassy name, is it? And this is like on Brian's side of the family. The head looks the same size as mine, is true. It does. What am I finding here? I've already looked for Brian Jones. And I do get new like pictures of you, but I can't put them here. So, but you're not in the fair. You can't be. That's confusing. I don't know where you go. Our daughter was named after her grandmother. Her grandmother. That doesn't make sense either, though. Carol? I guess Christmas Carol, sure. But I don't know. That's a stretch. I don't like it. Hori would be more Christmassy. Or like, you know, I guess, I don't know. Claus? Jesus, maybe? You know, that would be like Jesus. That would be a Christmassy name. Caroline? I don't know. It's fine, I guess. Right. What am I doing here? I'm so lost still. Like, we're doing things, but we're not, like, getting anywhere. Which is fine still. But, like, it still is confusing. For sure. So there's one thing in here, somehow. we read this one? 6 Pieces Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family by Sam Edson was released in early. No, yeah, we did read this because it's just yeah, vindictive Roottree rift. It's not going to be in the library yet, right? It is. Published 99, hardcover nonfiction. Sam Edson's book earlier this year. There were some sections on other family secrets and rumors. Much of it didn't matter to the primary purpose of the book, and some of it is new to you and may be important to your new search. These sections have been added to your notes. Nice. Sam's book has a few different passages about her own history with the company and the rumors and gossip she collected during that tenure. That could be very useful. She ran the farm for a period starting around 1968 after the death of Elias Roottrie until her daughter Gwyneth took over in 1984. Most of the relevant rumors coincide with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president in 1978. Sam was very much not a fan of Guy. Fair, very fair. And according to 6 Pieces, it was an open secret within the family that Guy was very much not a fan of remaining faithful to his wife, Patricia. Many of their hires at the time were young single women, and Guy often spent a lavish amount of money on private parties. This was 20 years ago, and Sam warns that most of it is hearsay. Still, you find the following information that may be relevant. One of Sam's farm supervisors was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met, but who worked as one of Guy's secretaries. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli's met her daughter at one of Guy's parties, and they eloped quickly to a pregnancy. Elizabeth wasn't aware that the party was for swingers. Rumor has it that her daughter showed up with Guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. That would make sense, because Sam did like that could be like a non-imam, right? Because Sam did say that she believed the story. Anyway. We'll have to look into all of that. Guy's main positive contribution to the company involved expanding to markets previously untapped by Roottree. However, when he went on trips overseas, they were often for weeks at a time, and Guy was known for spending more time and money on unofficial business than meetings with distributors and manufacturers. It was said that he bribed at least one politician to open a factory in Brazil. Okay, I don't know that I care about that. There's also a section where Sam speculates that Elias may have also cheated on Gwyneth. Gwyneth was always much kinder to Sam than Elias was, and was the first to invite Sam to family events. While she has no hard evidence, Sam always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias into allowing Sam back into the family using some kind of leverage instead of it being a natural course of events. That does make sense. That does make sense. Because like from the main mystery, right? There seemed to be like, no, she's not a Roottree, and then there was a change of mind after like Gwyneth pushed for it. So that does sound right, that she had something, some kind of leverage, yeah. She mentioned that Elias and Gwyneth were known to loudly argue, sometimes about another woman. Well, I mean, that is also like a good hint, and I guess Sam also says her son Ernie once asked her, "Who's Beth?" because he overheard them yelling about someone with that name. As far as Sam knows, Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, a different Elizabeth than the supervisor from the farm, but she never met her. Okay. I don't know why I would care about the bribe for the factory in Brazil. Let's just maybe put that there too, because I don't know. Maybe that's for, you know, like it doesn't sound like an affair, but who knows? Okay. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met, but who worked as one of Guy's secretaries. But we don't know the name. Of the daughter. According to Elizabeth, the caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli's met her daughter at one of Guy's parties. And they eloped quickly to their pregnancy. There are a large number of Antonelli's restaurants, not because it's a chain, just because it seems to be a common name for Italian restaurants. You may need to use a more local resource. Okay. We can do that. Antonelli's is an Italian restaurant and it has been in the Butler County Times twice. The most recent time was when it closed in '92. The owner, Rochelle Simmer, that's not a very Italian name, sold the land the building was on. And at the time of the article, she was unsure if the restaurant would move to a new location or if she would retire. Many years before that, there's a puff piece from Valentine's Day 1978 that would fit more of our timeline. It asked recently married residents of Butler County how they met. Christine Garland responded. She and her husband Steve, who was a chef at Antonelli's, met years ago when she delivered produce from her mother's farm. Steve used to work extra hours just to be there during her deliveries. Although they grew apart when the restaurant switched suppliers, they reconnected by chance and eloped at the end of last year. Now she has a bun in the oven and they're both working as much as they can. She's a secretary but went back to delivering produce on the weekends, trying to save up money to move to Boston and open their own restaurant. Which Boston? No, okay, I'm willing to. I can't think of a second Boston, so I'll accept this one. Anyway. Nothing about Christine Garland, okay. But it would make sense that that is the other secretary, the daughter of Elizabeth. Where do I look for you? Yeah, just here. Nothing there. Well, Garland. Wait, no, is Garland already Steve? So that's already the possibly his name. It's a shame. Steve Garland is mentioned in a couple of articles. The first was an article about how he met his wife Christine when he worked at Antonelli's. Second is from months later in September of '78, a listing for his weekend cooking classes. Gourmet for the Groovy. The blurb mentions that he's been giving lessons from his home kitchen for the last month so that he can keep an eye on his son. The third was from '91. And it's titled Local Author Sued by Former Butler County Resident. It seems that a local author by the name of Mark Simmer was sued by Garland after Garland saw Simmer promoting his book Kitchen Tales on television. His recipe book was partially plagiarized from the recipes that Steve Garland would give his students during his cooking lessons before he moved. But is Simmer like is the other related to who owned the restaurant? Because that's like a weird story then. Anyway, the article mentions that although recipes are hard to copyright, Garland accompanied each recipe with a short fiction about how he learned it. These usually doubled as a way to remember certain ingredients. Garland's bean salad, for example, involved making a trade of a gnome for some magic beans. Apparently these stories were found word for word in Simmer's cookbook, in addition to additional stories that followed the same format. Okay. Kitchen Tales, Mark Simmer. I always want to put the title first. For title, Mark Simmer's Kitchen Tales, 82 out of print, no copies available, re-released as Garnishing the Truth. The entire description of this book, according to the library system, is a recipe book that contains stories. That's a shame. Really? Like I can't look for the re-release? That's a shame. Garnishing the Truth is a cookbook credited to Garland and Simmer. It was released in '94. It's actually quite successful after the duo appeared to promote it on a daytime talk show. For multiple printings since. According to a book review, the recipes are accompanied by stories that help the reader remember the ingredients. The reviewer says that it seems perfect for learning to cook with the entire family. Okay, Kitchen Tales was a story-based recipe book credited to Mark Zimmer that had some success after it was featured on a morning talk show. The book released before the internet was widespread, so mentions are rare. One book collector states that the publishers were unprepared for the demand and that there was no second printing, so it's unusual to find a copy in the wild. You find an alternative medicine website which focuses on cooking with natural ingredients. It mentions that one of Kitchen Tales' recipe uses salt water. The owner of the site has included a scan of the recipe, which was added to your evidence. She says, if you switch out the salt water in the recipe for a mix of 2/3 spring water and 1/3 filtered seawater, it tastes great. Interesting. Interesting. I haven't looked at chat in like 10 minutes. Temperance has an appointment. We'll catch up later. Yeah, have a good appointment, whatever it is. Hope it goes well. The Boston, Kentucky too. There's like everything in Kentucky. Finding it a bit hard to follow tonight. Now gnomes have magic beans. Yeah, it's like it's like the, I don't know, it felt like in the main mystery, like things were just like more linear in a way. Like right now it feels like we're spreading out in a lot of different directions without really like getting any like hard information on anything, which feels weird.